Hey guys, I had to leave the safe house. I needed supplies. I need food. They're everywhere. Zombies. Pumpkins. Perfect. Now I have to make my getaway. Whoa, that was a close call. But I got my pumpkins, so now we can make some pumpkin puree. But I've already got a recipe for that, so you can check it out in the link below somewhere. But what we're gonna make today is some pumpkin spice cinnamon rolls, but with a little twist. We're gonna make some of them into skulls.
Cooking with the vegan zombie.
All right, let's get started before the zombies catch up to us. We got the apron so we don't mess up our nice clothes. It's already bad enough in the zombie apocalypse. You don't want to get food all over it. All right, so here's what we're gonna start with. We have a bowl full of 3 cups of all-purpose flour. That's full of gluten. All the gluten is in here, so this isn't a gluten-free recipe, sorry. We're just gonna pour that into another bowl, a bigger bowl. And also I have half a teaspoon of salt. Throw that in there. 1/4 cup of sugar. And I've got some pumpkin pie spice. We're gonna put half of a teaspoon right in there. And I'm also gonna put half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon in there as well. Mix those dry ingredients together. And now I'm gonna add 1/2 cup of warm water. It can't be too cool and it can't be too hot because then it'll kill the yeast that we're about to put in here. I already have a teaspoon of sugar in here. So let's add the water. We gotta wait for this to get warm. It's cold right now. And that's perfectly half a cup. I'm gonna use 1 package of rapid rising instant yeast, not to be confused with nutritional yeast. And we're gonna put that right in there. We're gonna set that to the side for just a few minutes. In a separate bowl, we are going to make our vegan egg replacer. I use this Raw Goods egg replacer. I found this to be really good. Bob's Red Mill is really good. The Neat egg is really good. You could use flaxseed or something like that, but this is what I'm using today. And I have 2 tablespoons of this. Now, for each tablespoon, you need 2 tablespoons of liquid. We have 2 eggs, so we have 2 tablespoons of the powder, which means we need 4 tablespoons or 1/4 cup of liquid. Now, I don't like to use water here, so what I'm gonna use is some oat milk. So our 2 powdered eggs and 1/4 cup of oat milk. Now we're just gonna take a fork and mix that together real nice. Make sure there's no chunks in there. And we're gonna set that aside because that's going to thicken up. Everything is coming along perfectly. Now we are gonna take the dry ingredients and we're gonna mix the wet ingredients into them. Here's my pureed pumpkin. If you're gonna buy it in the store, I would go with the organic, and we're gonna put 1/4 cup of that right in there. And then I have some warm milk, oat milk to be exact. And we have 1/4 cup of that. We're just gonna pour that right in there as well. We are gonna take our activated yeast. It's all bubbled up now. You can see it's all bubbly. Okay, so I'm gonna pour that right in. Look how thick that got. That's the egg. We're gonna pour that in there. These are gonna come out so good. I already tried them. I already taste tested them. And then I have some melted vegan butter. Miyoko's is great. You can use Earth Balance. It's melted, and there's half a cup here, which is 1 little stick if you get those Earth Balance sticks, or you'll figure it out. Okay, it's 1/4 or half a cup right there. Nobody said this is the healthiest recipe, but it's the tastiest. Okay, so now we're just going to mix it all together to form a dough ball. You can use a mixer. Some of us don't have mixers in the zombie apocalypse. And you're gonna mix this real good for a few minutes. You got a nice dough ball. And when you're done mixing it, it should be like this consistency right here. So it's nice and sticky. You want it to be sticky. If it's too sticky, you might want to add a little bit of flour, but you're not going to want to add too much because we want this to be nice and light and airy, almost like a donut. and you don't want it to be dry and thick and dense. So once you have it like this, we're just gonna take it and we're gonna put it right in our bowl like that. And then we're gonna take a towel, put that over it, and we're gonna let it sit for about an hour. It's gonna double in size, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna check it out, okay? Okay, it's been about an hour and a half and it has risen to twice the size. So now what we're gonna do is we need a little bit of flour to put down because we don't want it to stick. So we're just gonna put it on the counter, your breadboard, whatever you got going, and we're gonna dump it right out. Just like that. And if you haven't guessed yet, we're gonna roll this out. So I have a rolling pin, put a little bit more on top right there, and we're just gonna roll. Can have a little bit of flour so it doesn't stick to your rolling pin. That's fine. All right, that looks nice. We have a rectangle shaped dough. So I have half a cup of brown sugar. I've got a teaspoon of cornstarch, a quarter of a teaspoon of the pumpkin pie spice, and 3 teaspoons of cinnamon. Now we have some more vegan butter. And yeah, I know there's a lot of butter in this recipe. That's what it calls for. So this is soft, room temperature. You want it to be spreadable. So we're gonna take this with a nice spatula and we're gonna spread it right on there like that. You don't want it to be too hard because then it'll start ripping the dough apart. You don't want that to happen. So we're gonna take a nice amount of this and just spread it all over the dough, but we're not gonna spread on the very edges because we want them to be dry. Okay, so that's good. So we only used about half of that. And now we're gonna use that cinnamon sugary, brown sugary mix that I made, and we're going to, oh, you know what else? I think we need a little dab of salt here. Pinch of salt. Mix that in. And now we're just going to evenly place it on our dough. Okay, good, good. Also, you want your oven preheated at 350 degrees. Okay, now we are carefully going to roll this dough up. I feel like anybody can do this. I feel like we did this in kindergarten. Maybe not make these rolls, but we rolled Play-Doh. At least I did. Probably could have had a little bit more flour down there. It's sticking a little bit to my table, but all in all, it's looking pretty good. So there we have it. We're done. I'm just kidding, we're not done yet. Then you're gonna wanna get a knife or something sharp like this. And I already made these earlier, yesterday, and they came out really good. But the one thing I did is I think I cut them a little bit too thick. And if you're looking for a nice, huge cinnamon bun, pumpkin pie spice cinnamon bun, then by all means cut them nice and thick. But I'm gonna cut these a lot thinner because they will expand maybe another half a size. So I'm gonna do this a little bit smaller here. So we got that N1, and I'm gonna cut them about like that. And it's gonna make for more of them, and they're not gonna be as big. So, and this made 15. Grab yourself a glassware dish, or I like to use a nice seasoned cast iron. And also, we can't forget, we have our skull tray. Do you guys remember I made the skull pizzas last year? Well, this time we're making some skull cinnamon rolls. And just put them down like that. And also, we can't forget, we need to make this look all nice as well. Anyway, so that's how it's looking. We're gonna let these sit for about 20-30 minutes to expand a little bit before we put them in the oven. All right, we're gonna put these right in the oven for around 20 minutes. Now it's time to make the frosting, which is a very easy recipe. And if I had some orange food coloring, I'd use that, but I don't. So what I have here is half a cup of organic powdered sugar, half a teaspoon of cornstarch. You're gonna wanna get some vegan cream cheese. I got the tofutti, half a package right in there. the last ingredient is just some more oat milk. Now, be careful, you don't want to put too much in or it'll be too soupy. You just want this to be nice, thick frosting. So I have 2 tablespoons of oat milk. Pour that right in there. And then we're just gonna blend that up. Perfect blend, nice and creamy. I'm gonna do the old plastic bag thing, piping through it. If only you guys knew how good it smells in here. If we had smell-o-vision, you'd be all over it. But they're done, so I need to take them out. Look at that. The only thing these need is some drizzleization of some, that's pretty hot. Here we go with the skulls. Look at that. You guys can get one of these tins. I will link it below my video. But look at, would you just look at that? That looks awesome. I'm just gonna snip off a very tiny sliver of that. I don't like it, oh, that might even have been too big. But anyway, here we go. There we go. And there we have it. Cinnamon buns. We got them two different ways. Okay, there's only one thing left to do. I need to do a taste test. So that means we need to rip one of these skulls apart, and I want to show you one of these too. Gotta get one of these out of here. Okay, here we go. Look at how nice and fluffy that is. You can tell. You can just tell. You don't have to make the pumpkin. You can leave the pumpkin out. Take that pumpkin puree out and put another 1/4 cup of the oat milk in, and you don't have to put the pumpkin pie spice in. You can just make cinnamon rolls. These will make delicious cinnamon rolls and cinnamon skulls. Okay, so it's going to taste the same. Just as I said, nice, airy, fluffy. That frosting is nice and cream cheesy, sweet, really good. I don't know if you guys can see the time on the clock over there, but it's like 6:15 in the morning, and I've been up all night doing this video. I hope you guys like it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, comment below, share it. You guys can always check out my new hoodies that I'm wearing in the link below. I make them myself. And other than that, I just want to give a shout out to my dad, because he's the one that helped film my zombie part of the video while he stood in a muddy cornfield getting bit by mosquitoes. So thanks, Dad. And as always, stay safe, watch out for zombies. I'll see you guys in the next one.
Well, the sunset.
Yeah, we got up before the sunset, so be careful getting down from there. All right, yeah, thanks for coming out and helping.
No problem. Call me anytime.
Yeah.
I'm a photographer too.
Well, now you're a videographer because we did video.
Videographer.
Video with Dad. We're at BB Bridge Road.
I've been known to do a couple videos myself,
yeah,
as a matter of fact.
Yeah, I remember those.
Yeah. I taught my son how to do
70s, 80s, 90s.
Long time ago.
Long time ago.
Yeah. So. 1880, 1890.
Look at all these mosquitoes. Can you see them on the camera?
Let's get out.
There's so many. We got to get going.